I got the curved front drawer finished with blind dovetails. Stick with me and I'll show you how I did it. Well, hello folks. If y'all seen my last video where I'd messed these dovetails up, I also showed you in that video how I fixed them. I thought that'd be an opportunity to, instead of starting over, show you how we move forward and repaired. And the way I done it, it's gonna be just as strong as this side, which I did right. But anyhow, what we got to do next, we got to get our groove cut that's going to house the drawer bottom. When I cut the groove, that's going to show me how tall to make because the back, where these dovetails, the back of this drawer will set just at the bottom of the back of the drawer will set on the top of the groove. In other words, the drawer bottom will slide right underneath the back, and they'll come in and be housed here in this groove, and then I will attach it here in a couple places because the end grains will be going this way. The wood movement will be this way, so I'll attach it to the back with a groove and some screws and washers, and I'll show that to you when we get there to allow for that movement so it won't set and break itself. And also I'm going to screw these right on here so this will stay and all the movement will be right here where I'm accounting for it. But you remove the 4 screws if say something on the drawer bottom got damaged, broke, or so you could remove in 4 screws. You can remove the bottom, repair it, or make a new bottom, put it back and put the 4 screws back, and you've got a new drawer bottom. Because anything that happens, usually it's in the drawer bottom. Somebody drops something heavy on it or what have you. So I do it to allow for the wood movement. Also, the byproduct is you can pull it out and repair the bottom if you need to, or replace the bottom. So stick around and I'll show you how we're going to do all this. Okay, we're here at the table saw. The first thing I need to do, if you remember, for 5/8 from the bottom of the all the way around, that's going to be the top of the groove. But the first thing we got to do is cut the back off completely, and then we'll adjust the height of the blade where I'm cutting in about 1/8 of an inch into the bottom of the, and then of course we'll have to bump over a little bit until we find the fit that we're looking for. So there, the key is 5/8 from the bottom. That's where we are now. That's from this, that would be from this part of the blade to the fence. We'll need to put the top, see it's marked the top to the fence, outside up. So I found me a piece of scrap, so I get the height of the blade dialed in. So that's what I'm going to use right here. I have got 1/8 of an inch. So let's make our first cut. We'll go ahead and make it here. Remember the tail, that's outside, it's up. The markings here shows the top. So we're cutting the inside. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try to hold even pressure down. I'm holding pressure against, forward, and down. So let's just double check. See, I'm not worried about coming out here. See, it's gonna have a face across it and you're not gonna see that groove. All right, we're 1/8 of an inch deep. So I'm gonna cut them all. All right, now we got the first pass of the groove. So what we're gonna do now, we'll bump the fence over that way until we can get, this is the bottom, until we can get that thing to slide in the groove to the fit we're looking for. We got our grooves cut in it. We got the back to size. So now we're ready to do the back set of dovetails. Now we got the sides of our drawer. We're gonna be laying out the tails. You know, I like to start with the tails. So I've got a mark right here where it comes up the top of the groove. So I will come here. That's going to start the tails. And right here, I don't see no reason why I can't do, I normally do a 3/16, which I always thought that was good. So basically what we're going to have, okay. Okay, so the pins will be laid out. I'm sorry, the tails will be laid out right there. Right there. Let's see how close we are right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, looks like we're gonna have 5 tails, but see the distance right here? That's gonna be the width of the pins. So we'll go ahead and mark them off. Put my little dot right there. A little tick mark, I lose it. Some woods I don't have a problem. This oak here, I seem to have a way of losing it. All right, now go back the other way. See the distance right here? Now let me mark them off. All right, come in here. I like that little divot. You pencil it, it just falls in there and you know you're in the right place. Kind of like the knife line is for the thickness. Okay. So there's the half pin, and that would be the half pin back here. So let me mark the other way. It's always nice to mark them things. Boy, I just cannot hardly see them things. Okay, I got one more thing I need to do right here. So what we have to do right here, see the groove is right here. That's where that oversized pin is. So what I have to do is come right here. This will be the top of the groove. And we'll need to, so this right here will go away. So I have my pin board right here. I'm gonna put it right even with the plane. That way I can, okay, I've got B right here. This is B. So I've got my, remember the tape? We're gonna register off of that right there. And the two B's are together. So I'll have to come off of this one right here. So with the pin board vertically, the tail board's laying horizontal. I need to move it left and right depending on which one I'm working with. One saw curve. That's what this is representing. So I can put it on the representation of the saw curve on this piece, the pins, registering off that tape until it bumps. I moved it to the left. It's this way. So now on the tails, I need to come to the right side and get the curve. Okay, now I need to move it to the right. So what that needs, what represents the saw blade is up on top now. Now, I moved it to the right. Now I'm working off the left side. Okay, I think it moved. Okay. Moved it to the right, so I'm off the left side. I'll be right here. Okay, by doing it that way, what you have here is these kerf marks, and that is exactly where you need to put the saw blade. So the thing about it is, let me mark these things. I can't see it at all. Let me see if I can't brighten that up where we can see it. You know what I mean? That thing is, oh yeah. That way I can see where to start and stop. I want to go far enough, less pairing, but then again, I don't want to go too far. And what I try to do is leave it level every time. When I get it level, maybe I can build up some muscle memory. There's no doubt where I'm at. Now, like I say, I got a kerf to put my saw blade in, so now all I got to do is concentrate on keeping them on these to get me to be straight up, vertical. So here we go. All right, let's see. Okay. Well, I missed one, didn't I? This one right here. There we go. All right. These are the pins. I always try to mark the waist. That way, it's so easy to get confused. All right, pins I'm saving. So these. So that's what's going away. So I get my frick saw out. All right then. Well, that jumped up way. That's not gonna leave me a whole lot of ways to pare out. that's got the pins. This is the back, so that's got the pins. So let's get the rest of them and see if we can't put them together. We have the dovetails cut. We are now ready for a glue up. So we're gonna glue this thing up and see if we can't get a drawer made. So I got Top Bond 3 is what I'm gonna use. So I am going to start right there. So let's see if we can't get we have got that thing. Well, we'll just let her set up and then we'll cut that bottom and put in there. I might do some measuring and getting it cut in there because it's got to go right there, so it'll be easy enough. I don't know. Let me study about it now and I'll be back. Well, I think it's set up now. We'll take it out of the clamps and see if we got something to work with here. Do we have anything to work with? I think so. It's looking good so far. Gonna have a drawer for a dry sink. This dry sink has gone on so long that that it is gone on so long that it's time to get her done. I'm telling you. Okay. Let me bring y'all around here. We'll just peek at it. Yeah, I got a little sanding to do to get her look right. But so of course that's upside down. But that is the yeah, I got some extra glue. Got a little bit of sanding to do. I'll take my little palm sander, DA sander. Like I say, this is the front. It don't matter about the holes that piece is going to be in front of it. You'll never see them. So, but to turn it right side up. Yeah. So time you get your piece right there, that'll look like half-blind dovetails. So I tell you what, let me measure this bottom. We'll go ahead and get us the bottom. Oh, wait a minute. I tell you what, let's do. Let's take that and try it in a dry sink to see what it looks like. Let's see if it fits in a dry sink. You want to? We'll just see how much work we got to do here. Dry sink. Oh, it's a little. Oh no, it ain't. Look here. Look here. Oh, wow. I gotta get me a stop put in it. But yeah, I may have just a little bit of sanding to do. Yeah, I got just a little. But for the most part, that's gonna be fine. Yeah, I got just a little bit of work to do. So I think it turned out fine. I got to work these tops off, get my letters and everything, and get them smoothed out. I just take some sand in and sand it together. But When I get that done, we'll come back and I'll get the bottom. We'll get it measured and get it in place. And I'll show you how I mount that to allow for the wood movement. What I want to do, I'm going to get the measurements for the bottom. So what I want to do, since I got this open back, it's a little easier than doing it closed. So the depth of the drawer bottom, okay, I'm showing 11 and 11/16. And I'm gonna cut it that because, and that's even of the back, because this is the dry time of the year. I think humidity is 30% or less. I mean, it's as dry as it gets. Anything's gonna get wetter, so it's gonna get bigger. So I'm gonna cut it at 11 and 11/16. All right, the width, of course, the width, you got ingrained this way, so you ain't got to worry about no movement going that way tall. So this way, I do need a little bit of slack just so it'll move in there. So I am looking at 25 and 9/16. We'll start there. If we feel like it's too tight, we can trim it down. 25 and 9/16. So that's 25 and 9/16 by 11 and 11/16. Okay, we got her cut down the side. Let's go give her a try. Okay, I believe we're gonna do it. I need to cut those grooves in there before we get too far along. Yeah, so let's get us some grooves cut, and I'll show you how. I'm gonna take 2 bolts here, and they'll be fixed with washers to allow for movement. And then I'll just probably put a pin right in the middle right here. It probably suffice. So you just don't want something that'll hold it where it won't move to allow the movement to here. If not, it'll just walk itself out over time. So let me gather that stuff up and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So what I'm going to do is I got what looked right. To me, I come in 8 inches from each side. So I'm going to have one on a smaller drawer, one in the middle will do it. But I'm going to have one on each side. It's going to be held here, and then this will be fastened right here. I got me some screws. I got 2 washers. One, it fits the screw pretty tight. Then I got another one. I wish I had one a little bigger, but it's got a lot more slack. And that's what that's going to do, is kind of take a little friction away as far as the wood movement. You want it to move, if not, it'll break itself. So I took the width of the wall and added just a little bit to it, because this is the dry time. So it's going to, if anything, it's going to move further out. So I'm going to, the sides of the outside of the screw, I've got a drill bit picked out, and I'm going to drill 2 holes, one on each end. And that's going to be as far as it goes, and then probably get my jigsaw out and not what I'm doing. I'm going to cut 2 slots in it, and that'll be how I mount it. see if this thing won't. Well, I think that's got that. I'm gonna drill me a little hole. Having the two washers on it to cut down on the friction also will allow you to have the screw just a little tighter. But the wood's gonna move. It's gonna move. Like I say, it'll wind up breaking itself if you don't allow for it. So the only other thing we can do now is we'll catch right in here in the middle, and I'll probably just get me a small pin, drill me a little bitty hole, and just enough to keep it from moving. That's what you're looking for. So that right there will keep it from moving. That locks it in right there, and the wood movement will go here. All right, so that's got the bottom mounted. Now, what we'll do, we'll fine tune the fit in the drawer. Well, its sides are slick now. I went ahead and sanded it down some more. And I guess we're ready to put the face on it. Yeah, we are approaching the end of this thing. So let me stick her in there and see if that changed anything. Of course, I got a drawer stop to put on it where it only goes so deep. But I'll probably put that on it once I get the face on it, and that way it'll stop flush with it. So okay, all right, let's give this a try. Yeah, that's gonna work. Make sure we ain't gotta do anything else to this drawer. I believe we got it there now. So we're ready to put the drawer front onto the drawer. But I need to try it out to make sure everything's all right. So I'm going to use some blue painter's tape. I got some good wide and some CA glue and some activator, and I'm going to temporarily put it onto the drawer. That way I could come over here and try it and make doubly sure everything's going to be fine before I attach it to the drawer. Well, basically, I'm going to use this. It's kind of like double-sided tape. I am going to tape each side, then I'm going to attach it with some CA glue just to make sure. Make sure where I'm at. A little over 2 inches, 2.5. So that should work. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to register off the deck, and I'm going to even it out on both sides. In other words, when I'm ready to go, I'm going to even it out on both sides. and it resters off the bottom. And then once I get that set, we'll try it over in the dry sink to see if this thing's going to work. I really don't need a lot, but I think it might be. Here it comes. Okay, doesn't take a lot, but I'm gonna take the activator and spray it on there, and that way I'll hold it there till it sets up. Now, let's see if this is gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work fine. So, let's go ahead and attach the front. You want to? So now I know that's gonna work, so what I can do, I can clamp that together. I didn't want that tape in there because it takes up. I need a good flat surface right there. So what I'm planning on doing is, now that I know this is going to line up fine, I need to attach it with clamps, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some screws in it. Now once I get enough screws, which I'll have to clamp these edges because they dang sure need to go in. See all the meat you got right here. I can put 4 screws there and then 4 more there. And then I'll clamp the far out of that. Once I get that done, I'll recheck it and make sure, because we don't want to go all the way to the end and glue this thing and then not work. But once I know it's going to work, I can take the screws out, put a layer of glue on it, then screw it back together. Then we'll just clamp the fire out of it and make sure she gets set up good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and put the screws in it. While I turn this thing around, I hope you can see it. I hope you can anyway. Well, I always learned once you get one in, you need to go ahead and put something in it that keeps it from moving. All right, ready? Okay. Gonna probably need to go ahead and do one over here. I don't know if it makes any difference or not. I'm at 5.5, inch and a half down, inch and a half, 5.5, just about there. Okay, so let us get that one, and I think we'll about have this thing locked in pretty good. Thing really wants to pull, which nothing wrong with that. Okay. At this point, we got it steel, but we need to check it every step of the way. Once you put the glue on that thing, it sets up, it's over. It is what it is. So we want to make sure we're there. Right now, it can still be undone. But it's feeling like a drawer, that's for sure. Okay, that's gonna work. See, when I put my drawer stop in it, that's where it's gonna be. What we'll do, we will go, I think we're about ready for glue. Okay, so what we'll do now, we'll take them screws out. We'll glue it, and them screws will hold it still, and then we'll just clamp the fire to it and just make sure it holds. Now this is the moment I have been waiting for. So let's see if we can get this thing glued up. I need a pretty good run of glue. Okay, let us, I feel a little piece of trash right there. All right, let's give that a try. So, now let us, we need to get the, well, oh, where's the deal? Okay, I got you. Ah, she's pulling her out of there now. Oh, let's see what else. Right here. Well, I got the clamps to it. Didn't use them all, but I use a lot. Like I say, I'm gonna give this thing plenty of time. That nerve's loose. Better go through them again. That was loose. I'm gonna give them plenty of time. Boy, that nerve's real loose. And whenever this thing gets set up, we'll come back and unclamp these things. So I don't want no issues right now. It's taking this long. I guess it better show a little patience than it is to rush through it, because it is a little cooler. I got 53 degrees in here. So I'm gonna give it plenty of time to set up. I may just let, I tell you what, I may just let it sit up till tomorrow. Cause on this video, it's getting so long that once I get this and get it test fitted and slid in the dry sink, what I might do is just call that video here. Cause what I would like in the next video, I'll probably turn some drawer pulls and we'll do our staining and everything in. That way we can get our drawer pulls stained at the same time. But I'm gonna let that set up probably to tomorrow, and I'll see y'all back here tomorrow. This the next day, and I'm sure it's set up by now. So I'm gonna take these clamps off and we'll just take a look and just see. Well, looks like got just a little bit of glue squeeze out we got to work with, but for the most part, let's check it out. You want to? This table I got it on is awful wobbly. What I need now is some drawer pulls. Yeah, what I need now, I need on something steady. Well, I gotta sit down here. That thing was getting awful wobbly. But I think I need some drawer pulls, what I need. I think that's gonna do it this week. So the next thing we gotta do is I'm gonna make some drawer pulls. I'm gonna turn them on the lathe and do it out of oak, and then when I stain everything else, I'll stain them too where they'll match. But what I'm thinking about, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the tile rack, the superstructure up here I call it, and I just stain everything at the same time. That's gonna do it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. I got the drawer finished, except for the drawer pulls and the finish. Hopefully next week we'll have all that done. My little towel rack, I got to turn that rod there on the lathe and the pulls. So kind of looking forward to that. That's going to put the finishing touches on it. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all be safe, and we will catch you on the next one.